Hey, Tipo here. Ready for some fun English? Let's go.
Welcome back to another episode of Chill. I'm Gwen, your friendly guide to all things English.
And I'm Leo, ready to make this learning journey a little more fun and less stressful. All right, let's be real. Gwen, why do people struggle with English?
Oh, where do we even start? Spelling, grammar, pronunciation? It's like English wants to keep you guessing.
Exactly. Like, why is night spelled without a K? What is the K even doing there? Taking a nap?
And idioms. It's raining cats and dogs. Imagine someone new to English picturing that. They'd think we're like pets running away in a storm.
True. English definitely has a playful side, but it's not all bad.
With this information, can you guess today's topic, listeners? All right, today's episode is all about a question that a lot of people ask. Is English really that hard to learn?
I love this topic because, trust me, I get asked this a lot by learners who feel like English is a mountain to climb. But today, we'll talk about why English might seem difficult and how to make it a bit easier.
Yeah, and don't worry. We'll also throw in some cool tips, some laughs, and maybe even a few fun examples. Right, Leo?
Absolutely, let's start.
So, first things first. Why do some people find English difficult? I think one of the biggest reasons is the grammar rules. English has a lot of rules, but also exceptions to those rules.
Yeah, it's like being told you're safe, and then bam, something unexpected happens. For example, we have those words like there, and there. They sound the same, but they're used in different ways.
Exactly. The rules are tricky, and then there's pronunciation.
English is notorious for having words that are spelled one way, but pronounced in a completely different way. Take though, for example.
Ah, yes, though, is a real tricky one. It's pronounced like T-H-O-H, the-O, but you'd think it would sound like T-H-O, the-O. There's no logic to that.
English loves to play tricks on us. And another thing people struggle with is the meaning of words, right?
A word can change depending on its context. For example, bank can mean a place where you keep your money, or it could mean the side of a river.
So if I say, I went to the bank, you better ask me which kind. It's all about the context, right?
Okay, so we've talked about the challenges. But Leo, do you think English is actually harder than other languages? Just share your own thoughts.
Great question. Actually, English is often easier than many other languages. For example, in French and German, the verb system is much more complicated. There are a lot more verb tenses and conjugations, which means you have to memorize a lot more rules.
So you're telling me English is like a vacation compared to those?
Yes, for me it is. And when it comes to sentence structure, English is pretty straightforward. In French or Spanish, for example, you have to deal with gendered nouns and more complex word orders. But in English, it's mostly subject-verb-object.
It's simpler than it seems. And don't forget, English is spoken everywhere. This makes it easier to find resources to practice. Whether it's watching movies, listening to music, or finding free learning tools online, there's always something to help you improve.
That's so true. English is spoken all over the world, so you can hear it in many accents and situations, which helps you understand it better. You can find more podcasts with diverse topics on our channel, or find any movie you like with subtitles. Okay, let's get into a few more specific struggles that learners face. What do you think, Gwen? One major challenge is vocabulary. English has so many synonyms, right?
Yeah, like you have big, large, huge, giant, and many others. They mean almost the same thing but are used in different situations. This can be confusing for learners.
Oh yes, I'm still trying to figure out when to use huge instead of big. And then there are homophones, which are words that sound the same but have different meanings, like flower and flower.
And you also have pronunciation differences depending on the accent. For example, Americans say schedule with a SK sound, while British people say it with a SH sound.
Wow, it's like learning two languages in one, right? The accents can really throw you off.
Definitely. And don't even get me started on idioms and phrasal verbs. These can be confusing, especially if you're translating them word by word. For example, hit the nail on the head doesn't have anything to do with nails or heads. It means to say something exactly right.
And the classic one, break a leg. I mean, who would ever say that to someone if you don't know the meaning? But in English, it means good luck.
Now let's learn some new phrases today to understand the topic more.
You can take your own example on each phrase and share with other listeners in the comment section.
First up, we have take a nap. To sleep for a short period of time during the day. For example, I think I'll take a nap after lunch.
Yeah, rain cats and dogs is the next phrase to learn. To rain very heavily. On rainy day, we can't go out. It's raining cats and dogs, right?
For sure, because I don't want to get wet. Please take a look at keep someone guessing. To make something unclear or uncertain. For example, the mystery novel kept me guessing until the very end.
That's interesting. Now, let's learn throw in. To add something extra, often to make things more fun or interesting. It's like, we've thrown in some cool tips to help you learn English.
Then we have another phrase with throw, that is, throw someone off. To confuse someone, some new rules may throw us off at first.
Now, practice with some questions below to see how well you understand the topic. I want to see your answer.
Just put your answer in the comment section. Let's answer the first question. How do you handle synonyms in English?
Can I answer this question?
Why not?
I use context and examples to understand when to use synonyms.
Excellent. Now we have the second question. How do accents change how words sound?
Let me see. Accents like American versus British cause differences in pronunciation, such as schedule.
Good job, Leo. Listeners, I really want to see your answer in the comment section.
Okay, let's get back to the topic. The next thing we share today is about why it's worth learning English. Gwen, what do you think?
For starters, it's the language of the internet. Over 60% of the world's websites are in English, according to a study by A2-B2. That means knowing English gives you access to an incredible amount of information and entertainment.
Absolutely. And here's another reason, job opportunities. Research published by EF Education First found that employees with strong English skills earn, on average, 34% more than their peers who don't. It's not just about finding a job, it's about creating options for yourself.
And let's not forget about working with international teams. Imagine this, a project involving people from Brazil, Germany, and Japan. What's the common language?
English, right?
Exactly. That's why companies like Microsoft and Samsung require their employees to use English as the primary language for collaboration.
And what about travel?
English is spoken in over 100 countries, according to Ethnologue. And even in places where it's not the official language, it's often the second language people learn. It's like carrying a universal passport.
Plus, knowing English helps you connect with people on a deeper level. Instead of just pointing at a menu or using hand signals, you can have real conversations and build meaningful connections.
I agree. That's a typical example. Only if we were in that situation did we realize the importance of learning English.
All right, I think listeners want to learn some tips to learn English now.
Okay, let's give our listeners some pro tips to make learning English easier. Tip 1: immerse yourself. Watch shows, listen to music, or even set your phone to English. Make it a part of your daily life.
I couldn't agree more. Don't fall into the imaginary trap you created. Don't just watch a few episodes and feel better than before. Only when you make it a habit will you truly improve.
Yes, and don't be afraid to mimic. Copy how native speakers talk. It's a great way to learn pronunciation and rhythm.
You should also focus on phrases, not just words. Learn things like, how's it going, instead of just how and go.
What a practical tip. Also, try practicing every day, even if it's just 5 minutes a day. In addition, don't fear mistakes. They're part of the process.
Absolutely. Every mistake means you're learning. When I started learning English, I once said, I am onion, instead of, I am on it. Everyone laughed, but I never forgot the right phrase after that.
Yup, you should celebrate your progress. Even understanding this podcast means you're improving. So, keep going. Learning English might be a challenge, but it's one worth taking on.
Last but not least, don't give up. Every small step brings you closer to your bigger goals. Why not start right now? Pick one of the tips we shared today and give it a try. All right, Gwen, I think it's time to go over some key vocabulary from today's discussion.
Sure, Leo. Let's make sure our listeners understand these phases clearly. The first phrase is on a deeper level. Like what we've shared before, talking in someone's native language lets you connect with them on a deeper level.
I agree. Now we have immerse oneself. Surround yourself fully in an activity. You can immerse yourself in English by watching English shows daily.
Yup, that's a good way to learn. Let's move on to the next phrase. Make something a habit. Do something regularly until it becomes natural. Our listeners will improve faster if they make speaking English a habit.
That's right. Next, can you guess the meaning of fall into, listeners? Get caught in a mistake or problem without realizing it.
And the last phrase to learn is worth taking on. Valuable or rewarding to try. Learning English is challenging but worth taking on.
Now, let's ask our listeners a few questions, Gwen.
Sure, your turn.
All right, how do you celebrate your learning progress?
I celebrate by treating myself to something I enjoy and noting small achievements, like learning a new phrase or having a good conversation.
Wow, for me, I will go to bed immediately to celebrate.
You're always like this, Leo.
All right, second question. Can you think of a mistake you made while learning?
Yes, I once said, "Can you advise me?" instead of, "Can you give me advice?" It was a bit embarrassing, but it helped me remember the difference between advice, which is a noun, and advise, which is a verb.
Such a practical case. Listeners, don't forget to share your answer.
So, is English hard to learn?
Sure, it's a bit of a puzzle, but with the right tools, it's a puzzle you can solve. You know, nothing is easy. By trying, we can achieve what we want.
Yeah, I think we've had a great talk today.
Yes, Gwen. We talked about many things about learning English. I hope our beloved listeners find this episode useful.
Me too. Thanks for hanging out with us today on Podcast and Chill, listeners. Stay curious, stay confident, and keep learning.
We'll see you next time. And hey, keep practicing. English has nothing on you.